But first and foremost, Hopkins, Minnesota, I have a question for you. Are you ready for your main event of the evening?
What a crowd in Hopkins, Minnesota, George. Getting all fired up for the main event.
Mick, you can just feel it in the air. A cage match. We have not seen an old-fashioned cage match, especially in Steel Domain, and this is going to be great.
It is scheduled for one fall. Here are the rules. Victory can be attained in the steel cage by one of three ways: by pinfall or escaping the cage, either over the top rope and onto the floor, or through the door and onto the floor.
Interesting.
Introducing the participants.
Interesting. The rules have changed just a little bit. A lot of ways to
First,
escape the
from
cage.
San Diego, California.
Well, and I would anticipate that Mr. Adam Pearce is probably going to be using many of them.
Adam Pearce.
Here he comes. And I tell you what, whether you like Adam Pearce or you don't, in my estimation, this is a guy who transcends the eras in professional wrestling. He knows what works today in this modern era of Crash TV and Crash Pro Wrestling. He's also got a foot back in the old days, that plodding, methodical, old school style. Adam Pearce is the real deal. He comes into the ring with that attitude, with that chip on his shoulder, and trust me, that is Adam Pearce.
And then you've got to look at Cabana. This is a guy, well, both of these guys, Mick, NWA former champions. Need we say more? They know where it's been, they know they've been at the top, and they've got such an intense rivalry against each other. We've had the 7 levels of hate and everything else, and it's never going to end. This is never going to end.
Well, I tell you what, if it doesn't end in the confines of that imposing steel, I don't know what it's going to end. In a back alley? I have no idea. But you know, George, you made reference to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. As Adam Pearce checks out that steel cage, what a history, what a lineage of that title. Whether you're talking about Pat O'Connor, Buddy Rogers, the Funks, Jack Briscoe, Harley Race,
Dusty
Rhodes, right on down the line. A rich, and of course, how can we forget the Nature Boy, Ric Flair? The NWA title, in my estimation, the richest history of any championship in wrestling.
Right, not to mention Lou Thesz, the man who started it all. I mean, that's what I'm saying, Mick. The prestige that goes with holding that championship, and both of these men have been there, and then their intense hatred for one another. I just cannot believe we're not going to see one of the classics here tonight.
You know, these two, Adam Pearce and Colt Cabana, had such a violent feud, not only in the United States, but all over the world, literally, in that 7 levels of hate. They detest each other.
And his opponent.
I'm not sure that I envy Jay Soltis here, as the music of Colt Cabana starts reverberating throughout the Hopkins Pavilion. Talk about
making his way down the aisle from Maxwell Street in Chicago, Illinois. Weighing in tonight at 240 pounds, this is Colt Cabana.
Talk about something for Adam Pearce to prove as Colt Cabana makes his way to the ring. And I said earlier on, Adam Pearce is the guy who requested the steel cage match. There's no titles on the line, but I'll tell you what is on the line. A man's career. Because when you get in there and that unforgiving steel, remember, pinfall, submission, or escape the cage, there's no disqualification, there's no time limit. You can use that cage to your advantage as a weapon.
Well, and that's the whole thing, Mick. It could end careers. Both of these gentlemen tonight have put their careers on the line. They've let their emotions, especially Adam Pearce requesting this, let his emotions get the better of him perhaps. But we're going to see tonight, because this is going to be the coup de grace.
The last time in Hopkins, Minnesota 2 years ago, they had an I Quit match. Colt Cabana passed out. He absolutely passed out, being choked out by Adam Pearce. Pearce thought he won the match. The referee said, no, you did not. He never conceded. They restarted the match, and Colt Cabana came out on top. Pearce has not forgotten that. It sticks in his craw, and he wants to absolutely dismember And I mean that literally, Colt Cabana here tonight.
But as you said, there's no titles on the line, but there's prestige. The winner can brag.
And here we go. And this has been the talk of the wrestling world. It has been the talk of the internet. Promoters from the United States to Australia to Japan. That's not hyperbole. That's a fact. Are watching this one very closely. We are absolutely blessed to have it here in the state of Minnesota.
And you've got to keep in mind that on the independent scene, we are looking at the two premier independent wrestlers today.
No doubt.
No doubt at all.
Listen to this crowd picking up the Colt Cabana chant. Oh, they're jawing. They are jawing nose to nose and forehead to forehead. Cabana tells them to bring it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this keeps the outside interference at bay, that steel cage. If you have enough moxie, if you have enough reserve to escape the cage, you can win. If you get the opponent to submit, if you pin them in the middle of the ring. But I'm telling you something, this is going to be nuclear. This is not going to be a walk in the park.
Well, and we've seen too many cage matches over the years, Mick, with too many great superstars in them. And as I mentioned earlier, we've seen careers ended. We've seen bodies broken. And a lot of times they don't come back for a long time. So they're putting a lot on the line here tonight.
I got to say, as you look at Twin Cities professional wrestling, yeah, there's been a few cage matches here and there since the heyday, the glory days of the AWA. I'm not sure anyone has the impact that this one has had on the worldwide wrestling market. Everybody is talking about this one. And you know, you go back to the days of the Crusher and Mad Dog Vachon, Nick Bockwinkel, the High Flyers, Ventura and Adonis, Fern Gagne, Jerry Blackwell, inside the steel. I'm telling you, by the time this one is over, this one will equal those.
I have no doubt that you're right. This one is going to prove to go down in the history books as one of the greatest, and definitely Mr. Ed Hellier gets credit for putting it together for Steel Domain Wrestling.
Test of strength going on. Test of strength going on in the middle of the ring right now. Cabana with a momentary advantage. And what a great ceremony. What a great presentation. Just to make quick reference to what we just saw with Eddie Sharkey and that slob, that swine, the Golden Idol, had to come out and ruin it.
Well, I can't believe that he did that. You know, if you noticed when Eddie was talking, he'd even made a compliment to Mr. Idol, and then he has the audacity to come out and get in Eddie's face, ruin his moment.
Oh man! Oh man!
Cabana's holding back. You don't want to get your face scraped across that fence either, Mick.
Oh, what a clothesline! Good God! He about took Pearce's head off. And again, ladies and gentlemen, does it get better than this? Two former, and I'm not talking about 30 years ago, I'm talking about recent past, two former NWA World Heavyweight Champions.
Oh, definitely. They could both be back at the top of the ladder again. They're definitely in the prime of their careers.
Can you imagine, George, and we've talked about this before, Steel Domain Wrestling, its history and its legacy. This is a promotion I'm not sure anybody can boast of having Adam Pearce, Colt Cabana, and CM Punk on the roster at the same time.
Right, and look what happened to CM Punk. He went to the top in the WWE.
Watch this now, Cabana all the way across the ring, head first into the buckle. Boy, that's some velocity. And Pearce, he's on the outside of the ring. Wait a minute now. He just realized he can't roll out. He's got a steel cage in front of him.
Welcome to the match you requested, Mr.
Oh,
Pearce. Oh my God, right in the back of the head.
No way. Oh, God. That is corrugated steel, ladies and gentlemen.
You know many times we've seen faces scraped off in these things? Furbo, the Crusher, as you mentioned, the Bruiser, the Baron, and right down the line.
If you think Adam Pearce has something to prove here, don't think for 1 minute that Colt Cabana doesn't want to ensure his place in wrestling history. He wants to shut Adam Pearce up once and for all inside the confines of the steel. We're at the Hopkins Pavilion. Mick Harsh, along with George Shire, a packed house at the Pavilion, part of the Hopkins Raspberry Festival, a benefit for the Hopkins Youth Hockey Program. What a night!
And listen to this crowd so behind Cabana. I mean, they have been up all night long, these fans, but but tonight they're into this cage match right now.
George, we started selling tickets early for this one on the internet, and so quickly those ringside seats were gobbled up. Everybody knew the importance of this one. Everybody knew just how intense this is going to be. If you're a bloodthirsty wrestling fan, this is the place to be.
And we all know that inside of a steel cage, anything can happen. We've seen it through the years. I don't like matches like this, Mick. I've seen too many careers halted.
Oh, look at this now. Oh, that was close. Pearce blocks it. Oh, big elbow. Big elbow. And boy, if you're judging on points, which of course you're not, to this juncture of the matchup, this is all Colt Cabana. You know, so many times we'll see cage matches as the cadence picks up where a wrestling fan might say, well, wait a minute, he had an opportunity to get out of the cage. It's not as easy as you think.
Exactly.
Keeping that man down, and there's also that desire to inflict that last little bit of punishment. Oh, head first hit on the cage. Oh, man. Oh, no. Cabana absolutely
Mick, I hate it when they do that. And I mean, you know, we tell people, don't try this at home. You don't want to run your face against a cyclone fence because it's going to do some pain and some damage.
Oh, man. Oh, no, a second time Cabana into that steel. I mean, just, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a steel fence surrounding your yard, go outside and run your face along and run your forehead on it.
I don't recommend that.
See how that feels.
I agree, it's going to hurt, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I meant that facetiously, obviously. Oh, man.
Oh, he poked him in the eye. He poked him in the eye.
There's nothing Adam Pearce won't do to absolutely upset the apple cart of Colt Cabana. Nothing. He doesn't care. Oh, what a shot right to the jaw.
You know, you take out a guy's eyes and you don't have any defense right there.
Oh, look at Pearce. He is just ripping and tearing at Colt Cabana. Again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we need to emphasize again, 3 ways to win. Pinfall, submission, or escape the cage with both feet touching the floor. And here goes Pearce. He's going for option 3 right now.
I don't know how he can get over. Oh, he's not going to make it that quick, though.
No way. Here comes Cabana.
This is where it gets dangerous, though, Mick. These guys are on the top rope. They're at the top of the cage. There's no place to go but down.
Oh, man. Right to the forehead. Another shot from Cabana. And a third shot. Does he have enough? Oh, there goes Pearce.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Oh, that is a brutal landing.
He just knocked both wheels out from under him right there.
Cabana's
it looks like he hurt his knee.
Yeah, that is not good. What we're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, that does not bode well for Colt Cabana. I mean, he could have blown out a knee right there. Could have torn the meniscus, an ACL. You don't know what happened on that, horrendous fall.
Looked like when he came down on it, Mickey jammed it. You know, you do that to your knee, that's going to hurt.
And if you don't think that Adam Pearce is the opportunist, ever the opportunist, he's working on Cabana. Now, what does this do? Wait a minute, figure 4 leg lock in the middle of the ring. Is Cabana going to submit? That's the question here.
Well, I think he's got that little bit of a reserve, but you and I know this is a finishing hold nonetheless, and with the working on that leg and the damage that may have been done from coming down on it, we don't know. Soltis is asking. Cabana's got his hand up, though.
George, you got to remember, we're hearkening back to that I Quit match 2 years ago.
Yes.
And Cabana wouldn't quit. He had to pass out, for heaven's sake. Look at this. Listen to this crowd. Oh,
he turned it. I think he's turning that leg lock around. We've seen that too, Mick.
You use the opponent's momentum and leverage against him, George. Absolutely. But now, Adam Pearce once again, is he in control? Cabana had to do something to that knee. It's quite obvious. And what does that do? Well, in my estimation, 2 things. He's more apt to submit if you got a bad wheel, and also, how do you manage to climb over the top of the cage on 1 leg?
I don't think that Cabana's going to quit. I don't think he's going to quit, Mick.
He's trying it. Oh, for crying out loud.
Again, doing the same thing that we talked about in the previous match. working on an opponent's body, one part, trying to wear him down. That's, like it or not, it's a good tactic.
And I tell you what, with what momentum he had in reserve and the good leg, he propelled Scrap Iron Adam Pearce into the steel cage, and now for the first time in at least a few minutes here, things have evened up.
He's going to try to get to the top. The thing is, Mick, how far is it down to the floor?
Oh.
If you slip, you fall. There again, injury.
Watch this now. Pearce has that leg again. This is not good.
This is where it's dangerous. When they're up at the top like this, one of them could be severely hurt right away.
Unbelievable. There's that clubbing shot right between the shoulder blades, but Cabana is fighting back. Talk about two guys with hearts of champions. Wait a minute now. Cabana, what's he doing? Getting some momentum there. Oh!
Wow, was that a move from about 12 feet in the air?
Talk about lighting up the house. Oh, man. Adam Pearce and Colt Cabana, when you saw it on the marquee, you knew how damn good this was going to be. Oh, that double sledge. Oh, there's that jab, that short jab, 2-3 time. Look at Colt. Oh!
That was like the rope-a-dope.
Cut him on, two. Does he have him? Oh.
My God, he's still got some left in him. But again, Mick, that's instinct. These guys know that count of two. It's instinct. They could be down and they're going to kick out.
Colt Cabana, as you see, he's limping around that ring. Oh!
Well, I hope he didn't have any plans for after the match because they're finished right there.
Oh, my.
He took it right to the privates.
There's another Dusty Rhodes elbow right to the noggin of Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. And now Cabana in with a figure four of his own. Look at the face on Adam Pearce. Pearce is in pure hell.
And I'll tell you what, Mick, we tell kids don't try this at home, but you and I know when we were kids we did, and this does hurt.
Look at this now, Adam Pearce. He's another guy. You basically have to put Adam Pearce in a morgue before the guy is going to call it a night.
Well, they don't know the word quit. It's all about honor. It's all about prestige. Again, whether you like Pearce or not, the guy's got a lot of guts and stamina. He's not going to quit.
You know, George, we harken back again because Steel Domain Wrestling, with its ties to old school, you remember some of those bitter blood feuds between the Crusher and Mad Dog Vachon, for example. Vachon and Jerry Blackwell. That's the kind of feeling and animosity and pure hatred these two have.
They just plain don't like each other.
Well, that's putting it mildly. Bulldog Bob Brown and Bruiser Brody, another couple of guys with that same utter disdain.
Yep. And you and I, we called their matches, and man, they were Donnie Brooks at the Winnipeg Arena.
This crowd at the Hopkins Pavilion so solidly behind Colt Cabana. Classic Colt. Boom, boom, Cabana. He loves this wrestling business.
Oh, look at these guys. They are just...
I mean, these are bombs, George, they're throwing in there. They're not softballing in there. They're coming in at 90. Oh, listen to the crowd. Oh, gee. Pearce is still on his feet. He's begging off. Oh,
that was a little bit too much delay there, Mick.
And now
I think Pearce is saying it's going to get out.
Well, that's the way this looks. Adam Pearce, I think, just wants to get the hell out of Dodge. You know, and if he does that, if he escapes the cage, he's going to get the victory, whether he's doing it out of fear, you know, survival mode or whatever it is.
Well, the victory won't do him any good if he falls from that cage and he's on the floor and carried out.
What a matchup.
And there's just too much chance for injury in this. There again, look at Adam Pearce.
Oh. Look at this, no, oh no. Well, Cabana took him for an extra ride there on the rope.
No dessert for Mama tonight.
Look at Cabana. Oh, Boom Boom's on fire. Look at Adam Pearce. That is about as insincere a gesture as I've ever seen.
And I love this piece and this timeout. You know, this is pro wrestling. We don't take time out.
He really meant what he said there. Look at this. Look, wait a minute, watch Cabana. Look at Cabana. Oh, man. That reverse crab.
Is he going to concede?
There's nowhere for Pearce to go. What can he do here?
Can you imagine the pain right now in those knees on the back? I think he got to the ropes, though.
Wow.
But that's got to take something out of him, Mick. He's not going to be even 70% right now.
George, I think the guy was looking for the lower ring rope to crawl out from underneath. And you got that steel. There's nowhere to go, pal, unless you want to wind up looking like you went through a plate glass window.
Well, and this isn't something you do every night. You know, this cage match is sometimes for these guys once in a lifetime.
Oh, you can understand it. And another knife edge chop. He is lighting up the sternum.
Oh, look at this.
Look at these forearm shots to the ear of Adam Pearce.
He moved the ring.
Cabana. Oh. What a matchup, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
everything we anticipated.
Knocked him right down on his dupa on that one.
Nobody there again. Look at this now. Oh, no. Soltis again.
Oh, my God. He took the brunt of that, I think.
Oh, no. He's won the match. Colt Cabana has effectively won this match.
But look at this. Pearce is not going to be a good loser. Oh, my God.
The man won the match. He escaped the cage, both feet on the floor. Colt Cabana.
But the referee is down, Mick. He took the brunt of that. He got Pearce's feet right in his face. Look at a pile driver.
On the floor.
Oh, my God.
Scrap iron Adam Pearce gave Colt Cabana a pile driver on the ringside floor.
And they don't have the padding here like they do in the WWE.
Absolutely incredible. You can't blame referee Jay Soltis. He was knocked senseless even earlier in the evening.
Oh, look at this. He's putting him back in.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. Referee Jay Soltis did not see it. And
I don't believe I'm seeing this.
Look at this, Adam Pearce. He's not done. Pearce could walk out of the cage right now.
Why won't you die?
Oh, you've got to be joking me. Why won't you die, he says to Colt Cabana. Ah, jeez, again. Oh.
I've never heard a wrestler say that to another wrestler.
Well, that's
Mick.
Adam Pearce.
Why don't you die? We never heard that from the worst vile villains that we saw through the years.
Scrap iron Adam Pearce, and again, this is what I'm talking about.
He could leave right now.
Of course he could. It's the sadistic side.
But you and I know that if he walks out, this is injustice.
Absolutely.
This is a miscarriage of justice because we know that, oh my God.
You got to be kidding me.
Cabana won this match.
There's no way. There is absolutely no way. Oh, come on.
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner of the steel cage match, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
Mick, we've got to see tapes of this. This is an injustice. And it's not Jay Soltis' fault either.
He didn't see Colt Cabana clearly and unequivocally walk out of the cage onto the floor and win the matchup.
And he's not through yet. Look at the big mouth. Then he pretends he's helping the referee.
Absolutely a total and complete travesty here in Hopkins, Minnesota.
Well, and Cabana took two of those pile drivers, one on the cement floor, one inside the ring, and the best part of it was he was attacked from behind. He never saw the tornado coming.
And for Adam Pearce to stand over Colt Cabana and say, why don't you die?
I've never heard that, Mick, in all the years I've watched and followed pro wrestling. I've never heard any bad guy that vile.
Well, Colt Cabana has nothing to be ashamed of, ladies and gentlemen, because bottom line, Cabana won this match. The referee didn't see it. Everybody all over the state of Minnesota, all over the
Ladies and
worldwide
gentlemen,
web
let's
saw
give it
it.
up for Colt Boom Boom Cabana!
But the thing is, Mick, as far as I'm concerned, this thing still isn't finished.
I would absolutely agree with you, George, especially after this.
I would like to thank everybody for coming out
If
here.
you're
and
Colt
witnessing this
Cabana,
Steel Domain Wrestling event
you're going to
from
go to the
Hopkins,
promotion,
Minnesota.
you're going to go to the
Everybody
commission,
have a great
you're
night
going to go to
and a safe
championship
trip home.
wrestling from the
Latest
Twin
information on
Cities.
Steel Domain Wrestling. Check
You're
us
going to
out
make
online
your
at
case.
SteelDomainWrestling.com.
You're going to make it
And also
very,
don't forget to
very
like us on
clear
Facebook. I have been your ring announcer, Travis Sullivan.
to everybody,
and a safe trip home.
you
Thank
want Adam Pearce in the ring again. I don't care where you get him or how you get him, but you got to get him.
But where can we go from here? But I know Colt Cabana, Mick, he is not going to be satisfied with this. Adam Pearce, I think, probably just signed his own death warrant.
We're coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Myself and Pete Wagner, we're going to wrap things up. Stay with us a little bit later on. We are going to be coming to you again from the Pavilion in Hopkins, Minnesota.